Welcome back to Tokenization 101. In our last episode, we explored why tokenization is disruptive, how it breaks down traditional barriers, redefines ownership, and opens up access to global capital, transparency, and liquidity. But what exactly are we tokenizing? That brings us to today's topic, real-world assets, also known as RWAs. These are the physical, productive, or economically valuable things that exist in the real world, like buildings, farmland, minerals, crops, energy. And now, thanks to tokenization, they can also exist digitally. Not just represented, but traded, tracked, shared, and owned using blockchain-based tokens. In this episode, we'll unpack what qualifies as a real-world asset, how RWAs are being tokenized, examples from across industries, and why this shift has the potential to make global finance more inclusive and efficient. Let's dive in. Real-world assets are things with tangible or economic value. They exist physically or produce predictable financial outcomes. Think real estate, gold, agricultural harvests, carbon credits, art, royalties, even future revenue streams. What tokenization does is convert ownership, rights, or access to those assets into digital tokens, units that can be securely tracked, transferred, and managed online. And just like a title deed or share certificate, these tokens represent a claim to something real. Let's break this down with real examples. First, real estate. Real estate is one of the most widely tokenized assets globally. Apartments, commercial buildings, resorts, and even single-family homes are being split into thousands of tokens, each representing fractional ownership or rental income rights. So instead of needing hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest in a property, you could own a fraction and earn a share of the income it generates. Second, agriculture. Farms and cooperatives can tokenize harvests or land access. They can raise funds by pre-selling their crops through digital tokens. Imagine a farmer in Zambia tokenizing an upcoming maize harvest. Global supporters can purchase tokens representing a share of the yield and receive delivery or profit once the crop is sold. It's crowdfunding for agriculture, backed by real assets. Third, commodities. Gold, silver, lithium, and fuel are all strong candidates for tokenization. They have intrinsic value, are measurable, and are often held in custody by third-party vaults. One token might equal 1 gram of gold stored in a verified facility. Each transaction is traceable. Each token is redeemable. It's asset-backed finance but programmable. Fourth, carbon credits and environmental assets. As ESG and climate impact become global concerns, carbon credits are being tokenized to make offset markets more transparent and accessible. A reforestation project in South America, for instance, can tokenize verified carbon credits and allow companies around the world to offset emissions, instantly and verifiably. And finally, intangible assets. Not all real-world value is physical. Royalties, intellectual property, and revenue-sharing agreements are also being tokenized. A music artist could tokenize future streaming revenue from their next album. Fans could purchase tokens and receive a share of the royalties. It turns audiences into stakeholders. Now, why do this? What's the benefit? First, accessibility. Tokenization lowers the barrier to entry. Instead of needing $10,000 to invest in a building or a farm, you might start with $100, or even less. Second, global reach. Assets that were previously only accessible to local investors can now attract participants worldwide, in real time. Third, liquidity. Tokenized assets can be traded. You don't need to sell an entire property. You can sell a portion of your tokens instead. Fourth, transparency. Every transaction is recorded on the blockchain. Ownership is clear, history is traceable. Auditing is simplified. And fifth, programmability. Tokens can include logic. They can distribute yield automatically. They can unlock based on time or milestones. They can enforce compliance and permissions, all without human intervention. This is ownership upgraded. Not all RWA tokens are equal. A trustworthy tokenized asset should have a clear legal link to the real asset, secure custody or third-party verification, transparent reporting, defined market access and redemption rights. If a token exists, but there's no clear path to verify or enforce the underlying value, then it's not truly asset-backed. This is where custodians, auditors, and regulatory alignment matter. Let's pause and imagine what this enables. A woman in South Africa can invest in farmland in Brazil. A co-op in India can raise capital directly from its diaspora. A conservation project in Kenya can tokenize verified carbon credits and fund its mission without grant dependency. That's not speculation. That's real-world economic inclusion. Of course, tokenizing RWAs comes with challenges. Is the asset truly secure and insured? Can legal rights be enforced if something goes wrong? Is there enough liquidity if you want to exit? Who determines valuation? These questions matter, and they highlight the importance of having infrastructure, governance, and oversight alongside the technology. Tokenization is only as strong as the trust behind it. Real-world assets are not a trend. They are the bridge between the physical world and the digital economy. They ground blockchain innovation in something practical, tangible, and useful. They give people, not just institutions, a way to participate in value creation. And they're the foundation for building fairer, more open financial systems across borders. In the next episode, we'll take a closer look at how tokenization compares to private equity, and why tokenized assets might offer a more transparent, flexible, and inclusive alternative. Thanks for watching. I'm Kora, and I'll see you in episode 5.